Hello tacticians, it's Nox here, and today we're going to be looking at Tson'Ji, the XV-88 Broadside Battlesuit, the newest machine of war to hit Tacticus. As always, thank you to everyone who supports the channel, whether it's through subscribing or using my friend code, as it really does help me out. Tson'Ji will be available in the next Machine of War event, which starts on December 2nd, so you won't have too long to wait. And you'll be using your Imperial units to fight against some new Tau ones, and of course their human Guevesa. The primary ability, which will cost 1 munition to use and is only available to use in the second turn and onwards, will target an enemy unit or machine of war and fires the heavy rail rifle at the start of the next turn. Against units, it deals piercing damage. This damage is reduced by 30% for each hex that the target has traversed during its last turn to a minimum of 0 damage, so it is possible you can do no damage here. Any damage dealt to vehicles and big targets is increased. Against machines of war, it has a slightly different action. It increases the cooldown of their secondary ability by 1 round, and also has a chance to increase the cooldown of the primary ability by 1 round. Considering that machines of war aren't heavily used in PvP, I'm not sure how much effect that will be, but we'll certainly have a look to see how good it is at shooting troops. Its secondary ability, which doesn't require any munitions to use, targets an enemy on the battlefield and then does blast damage to each enemy unit that has a Markalite. The target then receives a Markalite for 2 rounds, so this is actually a very good secondary ability to use all the time, as you're going to be hitting more and more of the troops the longer the battle continues. And of course, if you have people like Sil or Darkstrider in your team, you can hand out even more Markalites there. So this is one that goes very well, unsurprisingly, with the Tau faction. And because of that blast damage, it's going to be very useful against one of the Tyrannid side bosses as well. And for those of you who want to know the stats at various levels, I thought I'd give the usual breakdown. So I'll just leave this up for a few more seconds. And now we'll see him in action. So here we have the Tau versus the Ultramarines, and we're not going to play this competitively at all, we just want to see what Tson'Ji actually does. And the first thing to do is use the Twin Smart Missile system, where it won't actually do any damage in the first turn because of how it actually reads. First you target an enemy, and then you will do blast damage to each enemy with a Markalite. The target unit then receives a Markalite, so the first turn you won't actually do anything apart from putting a Markalite on someone, so we'll target Manius Kalgar. And we'll just move everyone up. Now at this point the Ultramarines think they're just out for a walk in the sunshine without a care in the world, so they're all just going to move forward. And it's at this point the Tau are going to spring their trap. First of all, Darkstrider will go up and use his Fighting Retreat, which will put Markalites on these two. And as he retreats he can shoot Bellator here, again putting a Markalite on. Sil will then put a Markalite on Titus. So in that one turn, using 2 of the Tau, we've put Markalites on everyone. And it's at this point we can use the Twin Smart Missile system to blast every single Space Marine here. But unfortunately, as it's blast damage, it doesn't do that much by the looks of things, which is a bit of a shame. So we'll move on and let's use the primary shot against Manius. As you can see, he now gets a very obvious glowing sign above him. Now if he doesn't move, he's going to take the full brunt of this force, so let's see what happens there. Boom! It's quite a big hit, but we'll do that again, and this time Manius is going to bravely run away. Not so much damage. So you can mitigate how much damage you take purely by moving, but if you're bogged down for whatever reason, that heavy rail rifle is really going to do a lot of damage. But you don't have to target the characters, you can actually target the machine of war, so let's see what that might look like. And again, the glowing appears on the machine of war. Now there's not much the machine of war can do to dodge this, so there's the shot. Doesn't kill the machine of war, but if we go again and have a look at the Ultramarines, it looks like we can't even select anything to do, so it's obviously delayed the activity of Galatian's abilities. So let's go back to the Tau. That sniper drone's killing everyone. So again, let's target the heavy rail rifle on Galatian. Now, the reason I'm doing this, I'm wondering if Glacian uses his active ability to appear on the battlefield, if he'll actually end up losing that target. And it looked like he does. But let's see if he still gets shot. And no, he doesn't. So Glacian is unique in the fact he can actually end up dodging that shot entirely. And I mentioned earlier that he'd be useful against a guild raid boss, and if you're willing to use munitions, he will be very useful with that heavy rail cannon against all guild raid bosses. However, it was the Winged Tyranid Prime side boss that he's going to be very useful for, as it has vulnerable to flame and blast, and there's a few Ripper Swarms in there for it to target as well. However, I'll leave it up to you if it's worthwhile levelling just for this, and of course the Guild War. Personally, I will be unlocking it, mainly because I've got an unhealthy obsession of unlocking everything and getting it to Epic. And I will be using it against this Guild Raid boss as well as in the Guild Wars. With the number of Machines of War increasing, I'm hoping they'll start including them in other areas where they can be used more frequently. But as it stands, I would say there are probably other Machines of War you'd want to unlock before you unlock this one. If you have all the others unlocked, I would certainly suggest unlocking this one as well, because, as I said, it really does satisfy some roles. If you like these videos, then it would be much appreciated if you at least think about using my friend code, as it really does help me out. Or if you or your guilds are looking for a new home, please reach out to any of the guilds shown, as we'll always welcome new people into our midst. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the battlefield.